What is up, guys? It's Andrew with MyWatchAddiction.com, and today we're going to do a review of an Orient Mako II. Now, anybody that's seen my channel before knows that I have not reviewed an Orient yet, but they are a watch that I've heard quite a bit about. I see people talking about them all the time, so I figured it was about time to get one in. Now, before we get started, the watch of the day is that Aquasi, however you pronounce it, that's currently on Kickstarter. I just released a video of it a couple weeks ago, I think now. Definitely check them out if you haven't. Lastly, if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you guys will be alerted every single time I release a new video. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, we're aiming to do 2 a week to get through a backlog of watches that I have. Anyway, guys, let's tear into this Orient Mako II. So Orient Watches is one of those watch brands that I hear people talking about, see people talking about all the time, but I've never personally owned one myself, so I figured it was time. So I traded for an Orient Mako II. If we take a look at the case here, that's almost like a aluminum or stainless steel of some kind. Pretty neat looking little case. Not a whole lot to it, but a lot of design behind it. If we open it up here, you can see I opted to go with the Pepsi bezel version of this Orient Mako II. Pull this guy out and see what else it comes with. This guy has already been sized because, as I mentioned, I picked this guy up in trade. And if I could get the manual out, which it's going to shake and make me look like an idiot. Anyway, the manual's stuck in the case, and there it is. You guys know what manuals look like. Nothing special to it. So let me get this guy off the pillow and we'll take a closer look. So as we zoom in, you can see this Orient Mako II has that deep blue sunburst dial to it. Now this is a very, very deep blue, almost like a navy blue. You see with that matching Pepsi colored bezel with the blue and the red right there on this diver. Now the first thing that caught my attention about this watch was the overall size. This is not a huge watch. This guy's coming in 41.5 millimeters in diameter and the dial, and then 13 millimeters in thickness for this watch. Now the movement used in this watch is an Orient caliber F6922 automatic movement, and that gives us both the day display as well as the date display right there at that 3 o'clock position. Now this movement does offer hacking and hand wind. Now the one thing that catches my eye that I kind of appreciate about this watch is the stainless steel that they used in this case. I know I've used this word to describe things before, but that polish is almost buttery. I mean, there's no real hard edges. It's very, very smooth polish. I wouldn't say it's a high polish, but it's just a very, very smooth polish on this case. Now that stainless steel bracelet is 22 millimeters at the lug. And then that drives us down to the fold over locking clasp with Orient logo right there. Now this guy does have micro adjustments right there in the bracelet. Now this is a pressed clasp. From the clasp standpoint, does feel a little bit on the cheaper side for the internal workings of this clasp, but not horrible. And then of course that case back is just a screw down case with I mean they do have some design on the back, but it's pretty plain case back. The crystal on this watch is a mineral crystal, so they opted not to go with the sapphire crystal and save a little bit of the manufacturing costs. But this diver is rocking with that screw down crown a 200 meter water resistance. One thing I also noticed is the Loom on the indices. These are applied indices. The Loom looks pretty decent, but I won't know for sure until we get some shots in low light once these guys are charged. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think it's just a very classic diver, Pepsi style diver that I think will probably fit good in my collection. The other thing I just noticed is on that crown right there, they do have the Orient logo as well. Now I mentioned that their MSRP on this watch is $325 if you were to buy it directly from Orient. Now, I personally did not pay for that. I actually was able to pick up this watch with about an $80 trade value on the watch, what I put on the watch that I traded for it. You can, however, pick these guys up used or through secondary markets. You can pick them up anywhere from 75, 80, all the way up to like 180. So I would definitely, if you're interested in one, definitely take a look around, see if you can find a good price on it. So that was the Orient Mako II. Orient Mako II, not a bad little watch, especially not a bad little watch at that roughly $80 price point that I picked it up for. Guys, if you can pick up one of these Mako IIs, if you like the design, if you like the watch, and you can pick up one of these Orient Mako IIs, I would say a safe bet is to keep it closer to that $100 price range. I wouldn't go, personally, I wouldn't go above 130 for it. But not a bad little watch. I can see this is going to fit well in my collection. Love the thickness on it, size on it. Looks pretty decent. Can't wait to see pictures of it on the wrist and keeping it around in my collection if it works out well. Anyway, guys, if you want to see pictures of this Orient Mako II or any other watch I'm wearing on a daily basis, don't forget you can follow us at Instagram/watchaddiction.us. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here, but post up in the comments below. What do you guys think about Orient watches? Are they something that you guys like? Do you like, you know, cheap and easy for the price point? What are your thoughts? Post up below. If you have an Orient watch and think I should take a look at another one, definitely post up in the comments below and let me know what you think I should take a look at. Again, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great week, and we will see you soon.